Hey y'all, welcome back to Mirror Expressions. Let me see if I can get us straightened up a little bit better. Let's see. How is that? Is that better? I think so. I think we're good. Okay. Anyway, sorry y'all. I want y'all to, first of all, welcome back. I think I said that already, but I just got thrown off when I was moving the camera. So anyways, like, comment, share. Most of all, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Help me get my subscribers up. I'm shooting for 100 subscribers. Help me reach my goal. Anyways, drop down in a comment too. A mirror. If you have looked in a mirror today and you feel A1 with what you see looking back, and of course, as always, I'm not just talking about the physical aspect of things. I'm talking about the mental health aspect of things, all the things that you cannot see tangibly from the outside. So if you do not, please take whatever avenues that you have to get back to a healthier you. Yes, y'all. All right. We ain't gonna wait. Let's go. Today we are reviewing and recapping Married at First Sight. We're season 15, episode 6. Saved by the Mariachis. Okay, I was like, what the hell? When I first saw the title, I said, we gonna have a mariachi band coming in at the most awkward time. And sure enough, that's what happened. All right, y'all. This episode, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it was so much to unpack. So I'm gonna try to keep this review as short as possible. But baby, my notes go on for days, and then my cable went out because it was storming here at one point, and I missed some parts, and so I had to come back and rewatch it, and even more notes. So we're gonna keep it as short as possible, though. All right, it's day 5, and the ladies, they're all getting together. And the men are as well. Remember that Kristen had told the ladies last episode that when they got together the next day, she was gonna fill them in on everything that had been going on. They're on the beach having cocktails, and the men are off doing tequila tasting. And apparently it's still pretty early, right? Because Justin, aka Johnny the Green Giant, is like I ain't taking those shots. So he's sitting there faking it like he is. Instead of really drinking it, he tossing it over his shoulder. And I'm just like, he said the reason was because he ain't even had breakfast. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't blame him because I wouldn't want to be out there in the heat. Ain't no food on my stomach, and I'm drinking tequila. Just pass the F out. Like, no, I get it. But shit, you ain't got, ooh, sorry, y'all. You ain't got to lie about it, though. Like, just own it. Like, no, I'm not drinking. I'm going to let y'all have it. Like, nope. It ain't for me. So, anyways, just know this scene went back and forth between what the men were talking about and what the ladies were talking about, right? So Kristen is telling the ladies how even though that things are going well with them, that, and not for her, not so much as with her and Mitch, that basically she ain't gonna be hating on them, right? And over with the men, Nate is pressing the guys to say if they have consummated their marriages or not. So Justin immediately says no. And the guys are all asking him, like, if you love her, then why are you waiting? Because it came across, we get the impression that it's him that's waiting and not her, right? Because he said something to the fact that she respects my celibacy. So Justin is basically saying that he wants it to happen organically and not anything that's forced. And I'm just like, the way y'all all over each other. I can't see that it wouldn't be a natural thing right now because there's obvious sexual tension between them. I think Justin just is all this talk about him being big and long and what he packing, I think is a lie. Like he does not have BDE. Oh goodness. Anyways, that's just my thought. But here go Baby JL out to the side. We know that's Nate, right? He says that Justin is just afraid that he's going to get whipped. Baby, Justin will be whipped. That nose gonna be wide open whenever it do. And I just have feelings Alexis is gonna be disappointed. I'm not trying to speak that onto them. That's just how things are coming across, y'all. That's just how it's coming across. And have y'all noticed, can I just insert, that Nate stay throwing shade at folks? Have y'all noticed that? Like, Nate, sit your little 3 little braids sticking out in the back, having ass down somewhere. Like, it is not. Look, you do not have it going on with them little tweeds back there. Okay, just to also mention how Alexis told him that she recognizes that he is sensitive, but that is not a turnoff for her. Over on the flip side, though, Alexis is expressing how Justin is sensitive and how that is hard for her, actually. I'm like, okay, Alexis, like, I need you to be honest with your husband and tell him how you really feel about him doing all this crying every 5 minutes. And being so sappy, like, you know, I don't mind a man that cries. Like, you know, I love a man that's actually in tune with his emotions or whatnot. I think I talked about that in one of the earlier recaps. But to that extent, you cry more than me? Like, nah, bruh. Like, how can I look at you as a protector if, you know, you the one, you doing all this weeping and stuff, and nah. But anyway, she does say that he balanced her out in that area because that's just not how she's naturally wired. Honey, at one point she was like, I just wish he would say it with his chest, like Morgan. Y'all laugh because it tickled me so. Because when, first of all, just say it with the chest part, like, But now, y'all, when she said like Morgan, I ain't gonna tell y'all. I really thought she was saying like for him to be more like Morgan, because we all know Morgan. She give a little. She's giving off a little masculine energy, right? And I'm just like, okay, let me find out. Lex, you got a little time for Morgan, like that's appealing to you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with that, you know. But now, y'all, she was not talking like this. She was really meaning like how Morgan is with a guy that's more sensitive than herself. But that's just how I came across in a moment when she said that. Anyway, Morgan agrees, and she talks about how being is sensitive as well. Meanwhile, being on the other side is saying that they haven't done anything beyond cuddling, but that her friend said she's a freak. And here go Ben. I have to work on my hip thrust. Man, you might need to work on that hip thrust. You might need to get you something to pump it up, apparently, because these condoms ain't fitting. That's the word on the street, but she ain't heard that from me. Lady says for them, things are progressing in different ways. And of course, everybody's like, girl, what's your man by that? You know? So, we find out that they have done the do. Lindy says it was natural and no pressure. Well, Lindy, that ain't what came across my TV screen last week. Now, that's all I'm saying about that. Like, he seemed like he was very much pressuring you, trying to get you to feel how he felt about sex. He trying to get things going, get you all stirred up by putting that thing on your back like that. Yeah, no pressure. Okay, Lindy, okay. Miguel's telling the guys that they made love. Miguel, you ain't gone from, oh, sex is just a way for me to show my attraction, and I'm down to have mediocre sex right now. You ain't gone from there to we done made love in a matter of a day's time. Like, no, it just ain't happened. It just ain't happened. And then now he also talking about like he all of a sudden is believing in a higher being. Talking about, what did he say? That he felt like he was one with the universe, and that I felt empowered by a divine being. Boy, shut up. Get out of my TV screen. But wait a minute, y'all. Did y'all catch Nate when he said, you broke her back? I just want to know, if I was the only person that catch Nate say that, you broke her back. Now I need you to stay up at them folks' bed. He might be laying it down. Don't worry about how he laying that pipe on that gas. Then he goes on to say that no sex for him. And all the guys are shocked, right? I don't know why, but they shocked. Well, I guess so, because they have been hot and steamy, and, you know, because quiet as a kept, I think they probably still did too, because they're not in the shower. They're just too much, like, but, you know, they're both saying they haven't had sex. And then he goes on this long BS reason why, right? When I tell you it was full of BS, it really was. And the truth is, really, that Stasha just ain't ready to bust it wide open for him. But you ain't hear that from me. So, Miguel calls BS. He thinks they really did have sex, and we get and then they put in a flashback to the bachelor party when Nate had to strip all up on him and in between his legs. All right. Kristen prefaces what she has to say by telling the ladies, because at this point she still hasn't told them about Mitch. She just told them, you know, that she ain't gonna be hating, but she don't want to. She also wants to hear, you know, about them, you know, before she gets to all the bad stuff, the drama. She got to tell them about her. Right, so now she's ready to tell them about Mitch. Just a little shell, y'all, in my face. Look here. All right. Ooh. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I usually turn this other phone off. So let me make sure I do that now. We don't need no more interruptions. Look, the hair of the phone. Look. Let's get ourselves together. Because like I said I'm going to try to make this quick. All right. So she tells them, she prefaces, right, by telling them, Team Mitch, I need you to stay Team Mitch, you know, because at the end of the day, he's still my husband, and I need y'all to remain positive towards him, because I've decided to remain positive towards him. And I like that. That's a good thing that she did say that first, because a lot of times, you know, when we go to like our good friends, and we express something about our mate or something, or like even like your family, you have to be careful what you tell. Like, you can't go tell everything, because if it's something bad, then those people gonna start looking at your mate differently, right? And if you choose to stay in that relationship, then that's already gonna affect how your family or friends are gonna see your mate. So you gotta make sure you uphold your mate. There's nothing wrong to express yourself and get things off your chest, but at the same time, yeah, I do like how she did preface that they're like, hey, I'm telling y'all that, but this is where I'm at, so please continue to respect him and respect us, right? So anyway, she tells them how he said that basically she's not attractive, and but that they end up getting drunk, and then he pounced on her. I think she said, like a tiger, a lion, or something, like a bear. I don't know. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! But then he pounced on her when they got back to the room, and she was not okay with that, and which I don't blame her. And so she just basically said that she wasn't going for the crap, and then she had to lay down the rules and said that from here on out, she's going to be the one steering the ship. So, all right, that was that pretty much. Morgan and Ben are having dinner. They're discussing their time with the ladies and then with the guys, and then talking about just how they're doing all together. And they start discussing like how their future will look like once they get back to San Diego. Right? She expresses how she's easily hurt by things that people say, even if it's from someone special to her. I mean, well, especially if it's someone special to her, but even if it was something that was not said with ill intent. Yeah, this is nerve wracking. Here, let me see. All right, there we go. There we go. Now let me just leave it alone, right? All right. So she says that even if it was something that was not said with ill intent, right? That she's still gonna kind of internalize that. And honey, I just need you to get a little tougher skin, boo, because there are gonna be some things that sometimes and at some point that may get lost in translation. Like it's gonna come across a different way than what the sender meant it. That or you as the receiver are gonna interpret it. So anyway. Stasha has a picnic set up for baby JL. And honey, he is afraid of the bugs. He is actually well Stasha said she is too, but she the one out there killing them. It was a whole spider and he running and she killing the darn thing. Like, who these men. Whew. So anyway, they're talking. Well, Stasha is talking because she's opening up to him. I see her doing this often in their talks, right? She's the one opening up, and baby JL is always just staying so surface level, or he just always looks so uninterested when she's talking to him. Like it's like very off-putting. And I wonder if is she picking up on those vibes? Like he just never seems interested. But anyway, she opens up to him about how she is in a relationship, her past relationships. And then one thing she mentioned, I'm glad she did, was that how she went to counseling after her last relationship. And I say that I'm glad she mentioned it because especially like within a Black community, going to see a therapist can have such a negative connotation, which it is not a negative thing. I don't know why we are like this within our culture. Part of me kind of feels like it is back like with the church. Like everybody feels like, well, the church should have it all, which the church also, you can get help there, but there's nothing wrong with supplementing your beliefs with some professional help. Like God has provided us with these different avenues. Like I always say at the beginning of my videos, take whatever avenues that you have to remain at a healthier version of the healthiest version of yourself, right? So anyway, she says that she went to a therapist, just to find out more about herself and, how she is in relationships. And then she asked Nate, would he be open for the both of them to see a therapist? And baby, he gets to like, you can really tell that he was not interested at all. He talking about, is this like when something happens, or is this like a precautionary thing? And I'm just like, Nate, either you want to or you not, So he eventually says, yeah, but you can tell he didn't mean it, and he ain't fooling me. Okay. Alexis and Justin. So they're doing some type of water excursion. Like they're like out on this little bitty boat, and somebody's like a sailboat kind of, but not like a boat. I don't know how you want to call it. Look like a raft with a sail. That's all I can say. Yeah, that's what it looked more like. So somebody's selling them and they're on it. And they're also talking about what things will look like after the honeymoon when they get back to San Diego. And can I just insert right here? Baby, my homegirl Alexis is thick. Because did you see how the camera kept blurring her out? Baby, she was thick in that bikini. And ain't nothing wrong with it. I see you, girl. I see. Thick thighs, save lives. But anyway, Justin, Lex. And why am I calling her Lex? Like, this my homegirl. Like, I just know too many Lexes, and that's what we call them. So I'm just gonna call her Lex anyway. So Lex is asked asked Justin if her making more money than him would ever get to the point where it bothers him. And he responds, no, that it's all going to the same account. And she said, is it? Like, when you talked about that, like, you need to clarify, right? And but he did come back and say, well, we'll have a joint account and each have our separate accounts, right? And I guess, for her, that sounded better. And so they just agreed to hold off on going into details about their finances until they got back to San Diego. Anyway, the whole time they're talking, they're still sitting on this little raft thing, right? And then all of a sudden this gust of wind comes and it blows the raft up and over. And so he jumps up and is like holding the sail up and keeping it from falling on top of Alexis, right? And here he comes, I'm coming in like Superman to save the day. Justin, oh child, how did I? Like, that's all I needed to prove to her that I can protect her. Like, no, that still wouldn't have been enough for me the way you ran there crying and boo on. Anyway, Ben and Morgan, they're doing boogie boarding, right? Which I'm sure was right up her alley, because honey, the way she just talks about Ben's body all the time, like she don't never say anything really about him being good looking. It's just like his body, like that body, yada yada, hips, legs, what is it, thighs, legs, body. I don't know. Let me stop if I don't care this up. But she's definitely into that body, yada yada. So anyway, they're talking, and we get a flashback to the previous day of being saying that he wants a deeper connection or a deeper conversation, right? And how family and finances are the most important thing for him. And Morgan said she wanted to wait before they discuss those things, but she does go ahead and tell him that she doesn't have the best relationship with her father, right? So now we're gonna fast forward back to the present time, and Ben is asking her to elaborate on that, right? As well as apparently they her mom had told him that she still has student loan debt. So he also brings that up and asks her about that too. So though, like he said, those are his two things, family and finances. And basically he was saying that none of that works for him. It doesn't fit into the plan that he had for himself, or his expectations and what he told the experts that he wanted. So she's like, hey, I know we're not in the same place, but I don't want anything financially from you. Like, I don't want your money. I don't want your investments. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. And she just asked that he just give her grace, basically. And so she did ask him, did he feel like they were matched well? And it cuts to a commercial, and when we get back, we see them pick up where they're talking, but he never does answer the question. So I don't know if he feels like he did that, if he feels like they were meshed well or not, because he never does say. But he just kept driving home the point that how he's an honest person. He's always been honest, and that's what he wanted in return. He wanted someone honest. So it's like, well, what the hell is the girl lying about, right? So it comes out that she had told him that she has one more class left for her in her BSN degree, right? And so for him, he took that to mean that she's really not a nurse. Well, as a BSN nurse, that just is the furthest thing from the truth. That's just not how it work. Like, she could still very well be a nurse. She could be a LPN, or she could be an associate degree RN, which are both nurses. There's just different levels to nursing. And a lot of people do enter their career as a LPN or no associate degree nursing, and then level up to a BSN degree nurse. And there's nothing wrong with that because she's still a nurse and she living out in California. Oh, that baby is making bank. Do you hear me? California is one of the best places to nurse. Like, hence we're losing so many nurses now because everybody traveling out to California to get their bread. But anyways, because I just think that Ben just kind of took the information and ran with it because he feeling like that she lied to the experts about where she really is in life. And like, I think he took that information instead of just trying to find out more about it. He just really started internalizing it and making assumptions behind it. And a little conversation is all it took. All right. We're day 7. And so we see Morgan sharing with Lindy and Stasha about what's going on with her and Ben, right? And then on the flip side, Ben is talking with Justin, aka Tree, right? And so Ben oh, wait a minute. Let me see. I think I'm missing some things. Because like I said, the TV did stop, right? So let me see. So yeah, they meet up, right? Okay. And so Ben is just sharing with Tree about how he, told Morgan that he expressed to her like, well, that he had really just talked to Justin about the things that she had asked him not to talk to. Basically, that's what it was, right? And so, hold on. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go back. So, Ben is telling, no, so we're still with Ben and Morgan talking, right? Before they get to the others, right? And so he tells her first, before they meet up. He tells her first that he shared the info with Treat, aka Justin. That's what he calls him, Treat, about her not finishing her degree. And so now Morgan says that she's hurting pitch, right? And I'm just like, girl, it ain't that serious. Like, meaning, not that, and I'm not saying it ain't serious about the part as far as being betraying her trust. When I say it's not that serious, I'm talking about her degree. Like, girl, a nurse is a nurse is a nurse. Like, and if you choose to level up within your career, that is so awesome. But it's nothing to be ashamed of at the end of the day. Like, I don't see what the big deal is about trying to save face in front of the other people, because being a nurse, period, point blank, whether you're an LPN, an associate degree nurse, a bachelor degree nurse, is still a commendable field in the work that we do to give back to others. So that's what I mean by when I say that it's not a big deal. Now, Ben, on the other hand, now he doing all this preaching, talking about he wants somebody that's 100% honest. He's 100% honest. Well, you gave this girl, they talked, you gave this girl your word that you weren't going to say anything to anybody. And I feel like you just should have honored that in that moment, because if you weren't going to do it, then you shouldn't have said it. And I get it. Everybody needs somebody they can talk to, they can vent to, that they can just decompress with. That's good and that's healthy to have. So if you weren't going to do that, you should have made her that promise that you were just going to keep it between the two of y'all. Or if you were going to do it, then keep that ish to yourself. You ain't have to tell her that you told Justin. But anyway, and so now they're talking. So Ben is meeting with Tree, right? And then Morgan is meeting with Stasha and Lindy. All right, so Ben and Justin, he's just telling, he's feeling Justin in that, he did tell Morgan that she's angry with him and that excuse me, that he's not going to give up. He's going to continue to work to try to gain her trust back. Like, he realizes what he did now as far as breaking their trust when they should be working on building it. And she and Morgan is telling the ladies about what's going on and how okay, so yeah, I'm trying to see my notes, y'all. Cause when I tell y'all the TV cut out, this is where it cut out. So yeah, Morgan just fills them in, right, pretty much about what was going on with her being okay. In this same conversation, Stasha, well, it comes up about Lindy having sex with Miguel, right? And Stasha, for some reason, just got really emotional. I think just her kind of maybe trying to place herself in Lindy's shoes, because she's just like, I just hope that you were not pressured and that it was really a mutually agreed upon thing. And so Lindy is pretty much like, yeah, I know you're concerned, but you don't have to be. It was something that we both wanted, right? But yeah, Stasha been hurt, y'all. Stasha has been hurt, but I'm glad she recognizes that, and I'm glad that she was attempting to or is attempting, because I don't know if she's still seeing a counselor or not, but just attempting to work through those things, right? Anyway, in return, Lindy brings up how her and Miguel are questioning Nate's authenticity for being on the show. Like, just saying, she brings up pretty much what Stasha already said, how he's not really paying attention to her, but he's more in his phone, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, child, like, not the tit for tat, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, but yeah. All right. So Lex and Kristen meet up, right? Y'all, please forgive me. I'm trying to, like I said, all this happened. So let me just say this. So then, Lindy and Miguel, they went canoeing. Wait a minute. Before they did that, Kristen and Mitch were out surfing. Nothing spectacular about them. Like, she just watched them surf. Like, they should have done an activity that they both could enjoy and partake in. Okay, enough about that, right? So Lindy and Miguel, they're canoeing, they're talking, and she says she feels pressure to check off all of his boxes so that he can fall in love with her. And this is when he says he doesn't know that this will last beyond the 2 weeks, because his thing was he got in it and his goal was just to make it to the 2 weeks. I mean, the 2 months, and then decide after that what he's gonna do. Like, he didn't go into it with the mindset that this is gonna be a forever thing. Whereas Lindy, on the other hand, said that that's why she got involved. She wanted it to be a forever thing. So they're not on the same page with that. Anyway, Lex and Kristen, they meet up, and Kristen is talking about where she is with Mitch and how she feels like she's walking on eggshells. And she tells Lex that she came to her because Lex is such a strong person. And I think some of these couples are kind of looking to Lex and Justin as like the go-to couple, like the golden couple, the star couple, and I'm just like, y'all all in the same boat, honey. Y'all all learning, but so take whatever advice you can or want and leave whatever else. Like, don't just take it at face value, because they're not perfect either, even though that's kind of what they putting out there. So anyway, so Kristen says she feels like she's walking on eggshells. And here go Lex. When I think of Mitch, I think of you can't teach your old dog new tricks. Y'all, the way I holler, oh my gosh, when she said that. But then she gonna come back and say, I mean, he is 41. Honey, hold up, boo-boo, because 40 is the new 30. Don't be walking on my shoes, baby. But anyway, um, but she does encourage her though and says that Mish might come around, just how she kind of came around with just because she brings up like how she had met him on the app previously and that she did nibble because he just wasn't her type. He was too skinny, he was too nice, and that now that she met him at the altar, that she has opened herself up to the possibilities between them, and that if she did, she could be missing out on her blessings. So that hopefully Mitch will come around and do the same thing. Like, you may not be his typical type, but that he realizes if he doesn't open himself up and give you an opportunity, he's gonna be missing out on this dope ass woman, right? So yeah. All right, y'all, I'm back on track, okay? All right, so the couples get together. This is the last night, and they're all there catching up, right? And Lindy asks Miguel in front of the other couples, like, about this just being a 8-week thing for him, and that she still doesn't really understand his stance on that, right? And so, they're pretty much like this is a deeper conversation, because at first they were just having some drinks. They were like, now we need to move this to the dinner table, right? So they're at the dinner table, and so all of the couples are just kind of filling each other in, and we find out that Stasha has invited Nate to move in with her into this home that she's having built. Oh goodness. Stasha. Oh, sounds like a Christian move, like paying for everything. Like, just don't get too comfortable with it. I understand that there are things that were already in the mix before you met this guy, and it may just make more sense for y'all to do this. But, oh, honey, I'm just like, oh. So, anyway, everybody like, yeah, and they hit the jackpot on this. So, Morgan mentions how after, taking care of people all day, that basically when she comes home, she's gonna want to just relax and focus on her. Like, she's not gonna want to pour into being, basically, is what she's saying. Like, I'm not gonna have anything left after pouring into other people all day. And I get it, it's hard, but Morgan, you're gonna have to find some type of balances, because you're a family of 2 now. It's not just you. So, yeah, you're going to have to find some balance. And the whole time, Ben is clearly bothered by what she's saying. Like, he really looked like he had tears in his eyes. And you could just see, like, his little eyebrows all furried up. Like, you could tell he was bothered by the things she was saying. And can I insert right here? Like, I know y'all get tired of me insert things, but sometimes I just be noticing the most random of things. Like, have y'all noticed how big Ben's Adam's apple is? Like, oh my gosh. Okay, y'all, let me keep going. Like, I'm getting off track. And I said we were going to try to keep this nice and short, right? Anyway. So, Lex asks what everybody at the table is thinking, and that is, well, where does Ben fit in with all that yak you talking, basically, and Ben tries to lighten the mood by imitating some sex moves. Like, that's where he gonna get in at. And I'm just saying, Ben, you ain't laying it down like that. You just ain't. Meanwhile, Justin and Lex are over there having sidebar conversations, like whispering under their breaths to each other, because they all hugged up. You can't tell with one start and one end. You know what I'm saying? So they're having a sidebar conversation about why Morgan is even with Ben if she act like she don't need him. And I'm just like, oh, child. She said, oh, they also said that she's like a roommate, and not she's treating him like a roommate and not a husband. And they done called that baby irritating. They done called Morgan irritating. The whole time, Morgan is still expressing her needs. And she did finally say that she would try to meet his needs and wants as well. That she'll try to reciprocate. But it was only after everybody kind of like pointed things out to her. Oh, these people. Just not ready. They ain't ready for me. They ain't not ready. So Lex and Justin talk about what they've done, what their daily routine will probably look like. And pretty much same thing as being in Morgan, except where is Morgan was the one saying me. And that she has to, her needs and wants have to be catered to and met before she can meet anybody else. It's Justin saying that he's gonna do all of this and all of that for Lexus, right? And so similar question was asked Alexis. Then I think it was Mitch that asked Alexis, well, where does Justin fit in with all that? And this woman talking about she's going to protect him. Child, not you gonna protect him. But you know what? If you like it, I love it. This is all I got to say. She gonna protect him. I mean, she did go on to elaborate, like, I'm gonna keep him covered, and well, if he needs this, I'm gonna be there to do it. I'm just like, I call BS. But anyway, hey, again, if she likes it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? So Stasha, y'all, this was a little funny moment too. This gave me a little cackle. Stasha is just gushing over Lex and Justin and how cute they are together. But why in that moment production pan the camera around to Mitch and Kristen, and both of them were looking like because the whole time, Stasha was like, oh, y'all just so cute together, blah, blah. Y'all were made for each other, Justin and Lex, like I said, you can't tell when one started and one end. They was all up on each other, kissing and blah, blah, blah. And so then we even get Alexis saying that she loves this man, right? Oh, child. But when I saw them faces on Mitch and Kristen, that was too funny. I said, not they salty. I don't think they was salty. I think they probably will. I don't know. Mitch probably is salty though, for real. I don't think Kristen was. I think Kristen probably just overseeing them all sucky face. Like, that would get on my freaking nerves too. Like cut it out, y'all. Like, breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyways. So she said she loves Justin. And I was just like, girl, no, you don't. You just caught up in this feeling. Miguel says as much as he enjoys Lindy, he doesn't know if this is a forever thing, right? And I'm just like, Miguel, like, you are just very fastly becoming one of my not so favorite people on this show. He doesn't know if he has it in him to stay married. And I was just like, then you should not have come on this show to get married. You shouldn't have got married, period. If you don't know if it's in you to stay married. So, okay, so he says the only reason he did this is because he knew he would have an out. And I'm just like, like, to me, going in with that intention, like, well, I got an out. You're not going in, with pure intentions of trying to make it work. Like, you're not gonna be giving 100% if you just going in knowing I have an out. Like, all marriages have an out if you really want to think about it. We're not in a culture where if you get married, you got to stay married, right? So it's like, why not go in there with a winning attitude? Like, this is going to work. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Y'all tell me what y'all think. So anyway, Mitch tells him the way he feels is fair. And meantime, Alexis is like, no, it's not. It's not fair. And so Lindy, although she had expressed this earlier, and then when they were on the beach talking privately, that she doesn't agree with that. Now all of a sudden she's agreeing with Miguel, and I think she's doing it to save face in front of everybody, because she don't really she ain't really feeling it. She's just agreeing for the sake of agreeing, and Alexis calls her out on it. She says, "Well, that ain't what you said when we were first out there talking, you know." And so Lindy starts doing all this backpedaling, talking about just being able to meet Miguel where he is, even though it's painful. Yeah, okay. And I can just see that that's not how she really feels. And I think again that she's just saying that to save face in front of the other couples. And then when she got called out about it, she had to try to do all that backpedaling. But anyway, can I just insert right here, y'all, how I just feel like Lex and Justin are kind of coming across kind of arrogant. Like, yeah, we that couple. Like we got this shit on lock. Like we know what we doing. We hold it down. And the rest of y'all need to get and try to be like us. Like, because it was just like the sidebar conversation that they were having when Morgan and Ben were talking. Or like even now with Lindy and Miguel talking, and Justin makes this face like, like, who are you? And then, he does that. And then the whole time he pulling Lex in closer to him, like y'all ain't talking about no, like we get it right here. And then like even in their private confessionals, well, because they did confessionals together, Justin and Lex, and it was just they was just giving off that air, that vibe, like yeah, we that couple, and I didn't like that, like because just as quickly as y'all get built up, thinking y'all on this high horse, y'all can be knocked down. Giants do fall, baby. Giants do fall. So I just think they should kind of watch that and that vibe that they're giving out. Like they're looking down on the other couples. But anyway, so yeah, Miguel, he's full of crap, and Lindy was too, by just agreeing with him. But anyway, before, oh. So, Stasha begins to go in on Miguel, right? She's just like, you know what? Wait a minute. I need to know more about you. Like, what's your background? What's your relationship? Blah, blah, blah. Like, so she hitting this man back and forth with questions, right? Not even giving him a chance to answer. So she just shooting him out just like this, right? And so right as he's beginning to answer, here comes the mariachi band. So this is where the band comes in and saves the day, right? And I know he was just like, woo, cuz I get the feel that Miguel just doesn't like to be in a hot seat, and that was gonna be, I get the feeling that he was gonna give another BS answer, kind of like how Lindy did all that backpedaling. But anyway, at the same time, we also hear Lindy whispering in Miguel's ear, because they still had the mics on, so we could hear them loud and clear. And she's just feeling Miguel with all this reassurance that that they're doing what's right for them. They're taking their time and they'll get there. I was just like, why are you feeding him with all this reassurance? And I feel like that is what Miguel is feeding off of when it comes to Lindy. And not that you shouldn't reassure your partner in things, because you should, but it should be a two-way street. Like, I just don't see him pouring into her the same way that she's doing. Like, even though one thing his sister said, oh, he needs effective communication, I feel like Lindy is very good at communicating and relating to how others may be feeling and just expressing herself. But I just don't see that same thing coming back from Miguel. And so he's definitely not giving it to her. So anyway, It's later on that night, and Linda and Miguel, they're getting ready for the night. And child, they ain't talking about nothing. So we gonna keep it moving. We see Mitch and Kristen, they're in bed. And Mitch says that he knows that he's a lot. And he waits, and he wants for Kristen to challenge him. And she just basically said, well, she wants a husband that wants her, and I get it. I don't blame her. And so, again, these two just kind of being really low key this episode. They really have. So they haven't really given us much. Lex and Justin are talking, and he says, what being told him doesn't matter. No, he says that what Ben told him doesn't match the things that Morgan was saying at the dinner table. And Lex is telling Justin, like, I know you care about your friend, but it's not your job to be his voice. Like, that ain't your battle to fight, basically. And I'm just like, truth, girl, speak your truth, because that is, like, it's not your job to fight somebody else's battle. Like, you can't be his voice. And I understand being advocates for certain people in certain situations. Like, I'm an advocate for my son. My son is nonverbal. He doesn't speak. And he's going to always be in a position where he needs protecting. So I get that, being an advocate and sometimes, standing up for people and other things and experiences. But that's a grown man. That is his relationship. And so I get that. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. Like, do you feel like Justin had overstepped or whatever? But anyways, this baby started crying. Of course, we're talking about Justin. Oh, child. And I'm just like, what the hell are you crying for? Now I'm Jolly the Green Giant. Like, wait, this baby stay crying. So she basically was like, you being hurt because he's hurt is not solving anything. And so she embraces him, and she's telling him, that it's okay. She did repeat that she loved him again. And so all of a sudden, he gets giddy now. And so they're having this playful banter back and forth, because he's like, say it again, just say it one more time. You know what I'm saying? And so she says, when he's like saying, say it again, she says, you're soft and you cry too much. And she's joking, right? When she says that, but truth be told, I feel like that's how she really feels. Like, I feel like that's one of those, how they say the truth, you speak the truth when you drunk. I feel like that's one of those moments. Like it's just a underlying truth. Like, it's how she really feels. She want to put it out there, but she don't want to hurt her feelings and hurt his feelings in doing so. So this joking manner was just the way to kind of put it in the atmosphere. It's like, hey, you cry too much, man. Say it with your chest. Anyway, y'all. It's the next morning, the last day in Mexico, and Ben and Morgan, they're talking about the night before, and Ben is basically saying that he's going to work on winning her trust back. Lindy asks Miguel, is he going to resent her for having flexibility with her work schedule, because he doesn't have that, and he basically just tells her, don't create a problem where it's not one. We'll deal with that if and when it comes up. Kristen and Mitch, they're talking, but they just seem so awkward. And can I just insert that I just was noticing that gash on his head, and he really banged himself up pretty bad, because he's finally taking that little ugly band-aid off. Like, he probably just needed like some dissolvable stitches maybe, or some glue instead of that band-aid. But anyways, that was the end of the episode, y'all. Please tell me what you think, what you got from it. Tell me the points that stuck out with you, and let's have us a discussion. And until next time, I pray for you, you pray for me, and what? Bye.